Well, maybe after the competition is when we get to be a bit less disciplined. Normally, we get to have a bit of a break after a big competition when things are less serious. During that time, the coaches will come up with a new list of objectives for the national team based on their performances at the competition. During that time, we can relax a bit until we receive the new list of objectives, the things we have to do from our coaches. I normally spend my holiday time with my wife and kids. We go back to my hometown to visit my parents, my relatives, and my friends. Sometimes we will even have a drink, but for me, spending time with my family is the best way to relax. Well, if that's what you're asking, I remember when we were dining out in a restaurant. Technically, we are not actually allowed to eat stuff in random restaurants, especially meat products. If we decide to eat out, we have to bring our own meat. This is because the meat products in our restaurants are tested by the General Administration of Sport, and so we know that they are safe. So sometimes I find the fancy meat dishes from the restaurant super attractive, but I can't eat them. I can only have the vegetables. Usually I need a 40-minute stretching session. After I've stretched, someone will massage me by stepping on me. So someone will actually step on me when I'm lying on the floor. And then I have an evening therapy session before I go to bed. The reason why I have multiple therapy sessions is because I'm not young anymore, and so my muscles are less flexible than they used to be. That's why I need those stretching sessions and massages. I have to really try hard to keep my tendons and muscle tissue from losing their elasticity. If the therapy goes well, I hopefully feel better next day in the training. My programming is quite flexible. I mean, it's impossible to stick 100% to a completely fixed program. Let's take my current programming as an example. Okay, so let's say the program says I should be doing 150 to 160 kilos for my snatches for the day. But what if I just don't feel right on that day? If that is the case, then I will lower the numbers to 120 to 130 kilos, or even just skip snatches entirely and focus more on strength training. Similarly, if I feel really strong and hyped on that particular day, I will probably do 160 to 170 kilos instead. So I would say that the program depends on my body condition. It's definitely very important to adjust the program based on your feelings for the day. Let's elaborate a bit more. What if you're supposed to squat heavy today, but your knees are hurting? Are you still going to want to squat? My guess is no. If you're already injured and you still force yourself to finish the program, I'm sure your body is not going to be pleased. In competition? I don't do psychological tricks like that. I focus more on the technical cues of each lift before each heavy attempt. I think about things like setting up the grip, keeping my chest up, driving through the pull, and pulling the barbell to a certain height. A higher barbell is usually an easier barbell to catch. If you fail to move the barbell to a certain height, you will have trouble supporting it. So like I said, I focus much more on the technical cues before my attempts.
怎么样去完成这个更好的一个动作？个人问一个，下蹲停怎么学？